Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Keikaku Corner with Matt Marrero along with over on this side right here. Or this
Uh,
side.
I don't know. New face, new cast. Who dis?
Yeah, right. So today we're talking about a lot of different topics, and I say today not as if we're totally gonna record this in different sessions, but I mean like for this entire podcast, we're listening to the audio version, which means that you definitely gave to one of our tiers at our Patreon, patreon.com/TG Productions. But if you're actually watching the video clips, that's awesome too. Over at our YouTube channel, those guys on the radio. But the point is that today we're talking about a lot of different topics. And also, we're starting off the podcast in this very interesting, weird lighting because it's actually Halloween in July. However, by the time this episode ends, and you guys are getting the audio version over at our Blog Talk Radio account, blogtalkradio.com/those guys on the radio, you're going to notice, well, actually it's funny, they're not going to notice anything if they're listening to it, but the point is that the lighting will change because we'll be shifting out of our Halloween in July. It was a very fun one, a lot of fun stuff came out. It's sad because a lot of fun stuff actually came out on our Those Guys Play channel and our Teacher Production channel, and of course here as well. We posted our backlog of monster movies, horror movies. I mean, we even have 12 Nights of Shyamalan going on right now that you and I prepped really hard for. And we shed a lot of tears, blood, sweat, to
All of
do
the
that.
above.
All of the above. But yeah, so in this podcast, it's the intro, so I'm going to read off exactly what we're talking about. But we're going to start this off, at least in a minute or so, talking about the Doctor Who Series 11 trailer. Because this episode is going to be very San Diego Comic-Con heavy. Not everything is going to be San Diego Comic-Con related, but we're going to be talking about a lot of different trailers and a lot of fun stuff there. So, putting on my reading glasses, we're starting off with that. We'll also be talking about, I'm going to mix up the order, so this isn't the order that we're going to talk about stuff in Tristan, but the fans, I'm going to mix things up. So we're talking about the God, and by the way, a lot of stuff is happening in this episode. Godzilla King of the Monsters trailer, the Aquaman trailer, the Shazam trailer, apparently Boruto coming to Toonami. We're also going to be talking about, which is crazy, we'll be talking about the Mega Man Fully Charged animated series. What's funny is I thought I was going to remove that, but now I've said it, so it has to happen. Whoops. Digimon Survive, which is an RPG coming out potentially in 2019 or seemingly 2019. Some of the English dub and of course the Japanese dub as well of the Dragon Ball Super film. Broly, as it is known as, both in the US and in Japan. Shout Factory releasing Digimon Adventure Tri, a complete collection. Also talking about the Famicom Mini. We're also talking about the Star Wars The Clone Wars trailer. And some interesting stuff about potentially, actually, we cut there quickly because it was something that I cut myself. I was like, no, we're removing that. So I didn't want to say it out loud because I knew we were removing it. And another thing we're going to be talking about is the recent firing of James Gunn, who is the director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and was going to be the director of the third one. When we talk about that, it's going to be very controversial. I don't think you've read up on it yet, Tristan. So I'm going to send you a bunch of articles about it. We're going to have a very... we're going to try to have a somewhat nuanced take, but still it's going to be very interesting. And it's going to be... Yeah, yeah, it's going to be... Do you remember the Rurouni Kenshin stuff? You remember? It's going to be like that, but yeah. And I say that more so in terms of it being divisive, nothing about James Gunn personally. But yeah, it's gonna be a bumpy ride, so that's gonna be an interesting clip or part of the podcast episode when that comes out, when we film that. Yeah. So, now I remember what because I said I knew we were missing something, Tristan, and I was like, what were we missing? We will also be talking about the Titans trailer and also the Glass trailer as well. On two lighter notes. Have you seen the Titans trailer yet, Tristan?
I don't think so.
I can't wait. I can't wait until you get to see that pile. Anyway, let's jump right into the Doctor Who Series 11 trailer. So Tristan, what did you think about the trailer? Because I want to know what you have to say because I'm gonna rant. I always rant, so I want to hear your thoughts first. So please start us off while I remove my something specs. What did the doctor used to call it? My brainy specs.
There you go.
Yeah, my brainy specs. I'm gonna remove them.
Well, I have a machine that dings when stuff is nearby. So
And then the trailer came out, and then the machine dinged.
exactly.
So you knew, right?
Yeah.
But what was it? Was it a good?
It.
Was it a yeah? Right? Was it a good ding? Was it a mediocre ding?
Yeah,
Was it a bad ding?
I mean, for me, it was good. I like this trailer. It still feels teaserish, but
Thank you.
I like that we got a little bite. This is the kind of like clips that I want to see, though. It's just a few second clips. Them, throughout different episodes, you get shots of the companions.
It seems like it's the first episode, actually. Like, it seems like one of those next episode 30-second teasers.
Right.
So I think it might be for the first one. No, it's fine if it is. It's fine if it is. But I think it is for the first. Like, I don't think they... Because sometimes for TV shows, and I kind of like when they do this, especially with Doctor Who, they take clips from other episodes and mesh them together. But this one didn't feel like that. Like, it felt like that was one cohesive, like, episode. Like, that's one...
I don't know about that, but I see what you're getting at, yeah.
Like, it seemed like it was a similar atmosphere. It seemed like she was dealing with a problem that, like, with the headache stuff, that could be something that she would deal with as, a new regeneration.
Right.
Happy didn't make her immobile, because that's always frustrating when that happens.
Yeah.
It happened with... It doesn't happen all the time, but, like, it happened with Capaldi, it happened with Tennant.
Yep.
And it's funny. When it happens around Christmas, I don't have the biggest... Like, with Tennant, it doesn't have the biggest problem with it, personally. But with Capaldi, it was, like, his first episode.
Right.
It wasn't even a Christmas special, right? It was just the first one that he was in. And he was comatose. And it was like, I want to get to know you.
Right.
So I'm happy that it seems like we're going to be able to get to know her in the first episode.
Yeah.
But the reason why I said it seems like it's one full episode, not just like the setting and everything, but it didn't seem like they were, like, if it was something, like when it happened with Smith, right, when they were like, oh, we're showing you the entire season, you could tell, like, oh, we're in the West, oh, we're on dinosaurs in space, like they would jump between things that are distinctly different. But this barren wasteland with, like, random generators around seemed like it didn't seem like it was so different in terms of its setting that I'm like, oh, this is clearly like 4 episodes combined into one trailer. Do you see what I mean?
Right.
Granted, it was only 30 seconds, so fuck do I know.
Yeah. I did enjoy her lines. The first few lines that are thrown out.
I feel weird about the friend line because I always feel weird when the Doctor considers companions his friends. Now, I don't want him to consider them expendable either. But it's weird. Like, it's interesting, because I feel like the Doctor he's been making friends with a lot of his companions recently, but he's never called them friends, so maybe it's just a nice, like, what's it looking for? It's just a nice, like, acknowledgement, like, yeah, they're his fucking friends. He's basically been treating them as friends, if not more obsessive, to the point where it's just like, it's like, alright, Doctor, please let Clara out of the jar. Like, why did you shrink Clara and put her into a jar? Jesus H. Christ, Doctor. Like, it feels like, he's gotten so obsessive with some of his companions that you could argue they're either friends or even more intense. But, I don't know, I felt weird with her calling them, like, oh, will you be my friends? I don't know why. It's not like the Doctor doesn't treat them like friends.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I don't know why I felt weird about that. The rest of it, though, I was really interested. Like, I think I just loved how whimsical it seems like she's going to be.
Yeah, and that was nice to hear.
It was, because I want to have a Doctor who, at least for a little bit, isn't considering, isn't fucking considering, you know what, this regeneration's terrible, how about I just jump off a cliff, we'll see what happens with the next one. It's like, Doctor, please relax, Doctor. Like, it feels like, no, because the thing is, it's like, I thought it was done with Tenet, like the Curse of the Time Lord stuff. But that, and then like 11 came, and then it was like all, you know, whimsical, whoopsie daisies. And then all of a sudden shit started to get real later on with 11, and I was like, oh no. But it was okay because they had started him. Yeah, but it's okay though because they started him being a bit more whimsical and loosey-goosey. Right. But because it was, you know, Moffat, you know, with the same story, if you will, different doctors, but it was still under the same head writer is what I'm trying to say. So all of a sudden we have Capaldi, and I feel like in some ways around the end, at least with Bill, he became a bit more loosey-goosey. I mean, I know he's, you know, even in him saying, like, even in the idea that, like, oh, the doctor's running away because he's scared, he still fucking introduced dude into Earth's vocabulary.
Like
how many years? 200?
How many years? Yeah.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Some thousands of years early.
Yeah. But my point is that even though he did have those moments, there was still this, like, you know, idea of like, oh, it's a curse being this old. It's a curse. And it's like, I know it is, man. But could you, you know, it's like when you, if you guys haven't been watching, you should totally watch some of our 12 Nights of Shyamalan. It's really funny seeing our takes, especially some of us, you and I, who have never seen certain Shyamalan films, or it's been like 10, maybe 15 years or something crazy like that, right? But you mentioned something. Some of Shyamalan's films are very dark. It's not even like The Sixth Sense, but like some other ones are really dark. And your response to that has been essentially just somebody throw a pie, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of felt with certain parts of Doctor Who over the last... I mean, like, I got it. 9, I get you. Parts of 10, I get it too. But, like, again, like, you just... Every once in a while, you're just like, I want the Doctor to seem happy. Or to be happy. Now, do I feel as if at one point one of these 3 companions will die? Potentially. But that's why they gave her 3. So she's just like, oh no, I lost one of my companions, but I have 2 others. It's fine. But the problem is that they've been giving doctors...
That would be...
that'd be terrible. But my point is that they've been giving the Doctor companions, and it seems as if they've been doing it in a way where, like, we'll give the Doctor 2 companions, and he will lose 3 violently. And you're like, he didn't even have a 3rd. Yet they still died. Who is this person?
He'll lose the 3rd that he just made in the Christmas special.
Yeah.
And then they will die.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like, and it's like, I get it. It's, you know, it's sad, and it's trying to tug at our heartstrings, but I think, you know, we've talked about this before, we're not going to go over it too much again. It's just the idea that, like, you know, for me anyway, it feels like there's so many times that a companion could leave that it's kind of like when they die, I'm like, you could have left a series or 2 ago.
Yeah.
I loved you being with us, but you could have left and not have been dead. So I hope that with these companions, either they don't die, or if one of them does, then it's a problem, of course. It's sad, but I just don't want I don't want the Doctor to feel immense feeling of dread and pain unless she's like picked up by the Time Lords or something. In which case I get it. You know, like that's something always, you know, it's always a problem to deal with. But you see,
why is it every time you guys pick me up, all I feel is immense dread and pain?
Yeah, right?
Huh. You're not the only one who said that today. Who else did you pick up?
Just immediately just see Missy.
Well, this is awkward.
Right? But I'm just, I'm really happy with her demeanor thus far. I'm not saying that she shouldn't be, you know, dynamic. This Doctor shouldn't be dynamic. Of course, there's going to be moments when sad shit's going to happen, right? But I just feel like we needed a small breath of fresh air.
Matt needs a pie.
I need a pie. I really do. I'm fat. I need a pie. No, I need a breath of fresh air, and I think you do too, Tristan. You know, I mean, like after...
I'm totally fine with the Curse of the Time Lords.
No, but like after it being like, I've suffered here for billions of years. It's like, yes, It's uplifting that he broke his way out. But like after a while, it's like, I don't know, like, what was that?
Was it diamond? No, it was something harder than diamond.
Yeah, it was something kind of crystal.
Yeah, something, yeah.
No, but I'm just saying that like after a while, it's like, okay... Can we have a Doctor who can have a little bit of fun for a bit? And again, if it turns into, her having existential crises at the end of her, cycle as this doctor, that's fine. I'm not saying things can't progress, but we just needed that breath of fresh air. And as much as, I do like a lot of Moffat's stories and a lot of his finales that some people don't, we still have to acknowledge that Moffat started with, as the head writer, in 2011, dude.
Yeah.
And yes, there was a break, when he was writing Sherlock, but still, that's, if we count his run from 2011 till the exact moment that Whittaker starts being, the Doctor on our TV screens, which I know it technically isn't fair. Technically. That's 7 years. Even if we shave a year off, that's 6 years.
6. Right.
Even if it's like, Matt, that's not fair, shave the other year off because, we were waiting since the Christmas special, yada yada. Okay, that's like 5, maybe 5.5 years.
Right.
Like, yes, Davies was also on for a while, don't get me wrong. But I have to say, even though I didn't like it as a Doctor Who watcher, as looking at it from a creative perspective, it was very smart to have them just go into specials for a bit. And just do, what I'm saying? When they did those, Easter special and, the Christmas special. And I don't know if they celebrated Arbor Day. But, there was all these specials that they did with Tennant for a bit before he officially, before he regenerated into Smith. And he had to go. I say had to go just to parody the want to go. I don't think he had to actually go. We're going to get shit on that in the comments. I'm just saying that, I don't know, I think the specials were okay, but in this case, it's like we had Smith, and then, even at Smith, people were having a bit of trepidation with Moffat. And then we get Capaldi, who I loved, but I don't think it started off that well, despite the fact that I love his Doctor. Yeah. And then, now it's like we have, again, new writing staff, breath of fresh air. We didn't get much. We talked about this, I think, more. God, how many times more at this point? That was a 30-second teaser, and we talked about it how many times more?
Right, but I think there is one big point that we need to mention.
What is
and it's a huge controversy, and a lot of people have been bringing it up.
Okay.
I'm going to say this right here and now: the Doctor is still not ginger.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Doctor is a woman, and I was going to be like, oh my God.
That's the joke.
Unbelievable. No, just quoting, I forgot, Jotaro, Josuke, Jojo.
Oh, okay.
No, but quoting, from part 3. The Doctor still isn't ginger, which I think is the ultimate crime, and potentially punishable by Time Lord death. No, but
maybe it's just impossible for Time Lords to be ginger.
That would be fucking hilarious. That would be the funniest thing. But no, I'll say this much. This teaser, or if you want to call it a trailer, it was better than the first teaser that we got. Ultimately better. But I still think that it didn't hype me up for the show. I don't know why it didn't. Whittaker did, right? Her performance hypes me up. But I think in terms of the show itself, I don't know. There's something about this teaser that didn't do it for me. Now, do I still want to see this next series of Doctor Who? Fuck yeah. Even if we weren't podcasting on it, I would love to, see it. But I don't know. There's something about this specific trailer that didn't do it for me, and I don't know what it is. Her narration, great. Her mannerisms, just certain things about her, I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Good. But I don't know, maybe because we don't know much about the companions yet, perhaps. Maybe.
Right.
Also, I think, even though I like that we're changing things up, it's a little strange that she has 3 companions. I want to know what that's about. I guess, I said this so much during the, when we talked about the teaser, so I'm not going to talk about it now in depth. But I think I'll wrap up my whole thing with this, with just saying that, we got so much spoiled by the BBC that now, because they're pulling back so hard with no spoilers, I'm like, really, guys? Really?
Right.
Really? I can't know anything now? I have to wait until... What are we waiting until? October?
Yeah, October.
fucking until October, and there's only going to be 10 episodes, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to be great. It's going to feel great. Anyway, so anything else you want to say before we wrap this up, or?
Yeah, I mean, just a guess for me. Like, I think the older gentleman is like, I feel like there's going to be a student-professor relationship going on with the companions, maybe.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think they like doing that. Yeah, you know what? They did that technically with Bill. I think they'll probably like doing that. That'd be funny. If he's like, I'm a professor, and she's like, I'm a doctor, and he's like, oh, really? And what? And she's just like, everything. She's like, everything.
So technically, everything and nothing at the same time.
Oh. Excellent.
He's just like...
No, he'd be like, oh, excellent. And then when she turns around, he looks at the students, and he's just, like, putting his hand to his head like Looney.
Oh,
you know, like moving
right.
it. Well, because, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
In tattered clothes, in tattered Capaldi's clothes, her saying, I'm a professor in everything, and also technically nothing. Yeah, all right. Okay. Especially because I have this odd feeling that she's, at least at first... she's not going to she seems like, and I know nothing about, this doctor thus far, but she still seems like the kind of doctor that's going to use gobbledygook language to normal, everyday humans.
Right.
And they're going to be like, what? And unlike someone like Capaldi, who's like, oh, right, you have a pea brain, she's going to be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Okay, let me explain. Right. I feel like she's going to be like, I forgot. Like, Capaldi... in a way, I guess you could argue he thinks that they're better, but he's like, he has to be reminded, right, you have a pea brain. But she's not going to say you have a pea brain. She's going to be like, oh my god, I thought that you knew. Right, of course you don't. I mean, yeah, my bad. What year are we in again? Oh, right, you don't know anything about that yet. Let me explain it to you in depth. So I feel like she's going to do that to them. They're going to be like, sure, crazy lady.
She's like, I literally just explained, did that not... Why don't you believe me?
Yeah, so either way, hyped for her, not hyped for the season/series, but again, that's just based on the trailers alone, and they're supposed to hype me. So, I don't think they're doing their job, in my opinion. To me, anyway. But when it comes to her, yes, she's doing her job well. They're cutting her in well, using her, audio well. It's just... I want to know what the fuck's going on with both, where they are, the companions, and even the TARDIS. And I feel like we got nothing about any of that. And like you said earlier, Tristan, it felt like more of a teaser than a trailer. So I don't know. That's just me, though.